back and welcome to my March TBR. I'm going to be sipping from my Not Tonight, I'm Booked cup, which is from Enchanted Fandom in this video, because I've got a lot of books to talk about and I need to read a lot of books because, as you know, I didn't read a lot of books last month. So I really need this cup to just, you know, keep people away so that I can just sit and read all night and weekend and whenever. I will leave a discount code for Enchanted Fandom in the description box below because I love their stuff and especially their cups. And so if you want to get a cup or one of their monthly subscription boxes, you can use that code and I'll leave the link down below. So I have a variety of books to talk about here. I have some February releases that are left over from February. I have some March releases, some other books I want to read, and then, you know, I'm feeling so optimistic, I'm going to include some April releases too, because why not? Why the hell not? I have a few books that I can actually show you. A few books are review copies, either on audio or ebook, so I won't be able to show you those. But let's go for it because it's been like a minute already. Okay, so some February releases I have left over. I still have not read On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, even though I was so excited about this one. This may happen this weekend. I'm going to try and clear my schedule. It was meant to snow this weekend, now it's not anymore, and I was quite excited that it was going to snow and I could sit in with Angie Thomas and be fine with that. But this is on the March TBR. Help me read this one, everyone, please. Then I have one that I started in February that came out somewhere near the beginning of February and it just hasn't happened, and that is The Art of Losing by Lizzie Mason. You can see that I am nearly halfway through this one. I thought I would finish it because it's only like 300 pages, but it's not the biggest print actually, to be fair. Now that it's not the biggest print, so there's a lot of words on each page, so only 300 pages, but still. So this one is going to get finished. I maybe finished it by the time you watch this video. Who knows? Let's be hopeful about it. Then I am doing a buddy read of this February release. This one came out at the end of February. I got this at the beginning of June at BookCon. If you've seen my BookCon video, you'll see how this book came about, so I do feel a little bit guilty for not having read it yet. And that is Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz. Everyone I know who has read their early copy that they got at BookCon has loved this one, and I'm going to be buddy reading this one with Beautifully Bookish Bethany. So as you watch this video, we will have started this one. I'm not going as far as to say I will have finished this one because we won't have, but here it is. Then we have some March releases, a couple that I can definitely show you. I have The Mum Who Got Her Life Back by Fiona Gibson. This is about a mum, Nadia, who her children have left home to go to university. She has twin teenagers, and how her life differs from when they were at home to when she's on her own to then when they come back from university for the summer. There's a bit of romance in here and it is very, very funny. I have already reviewed this one because I needed to read it for a blog tour, so I read this the first weekend in March, and so I will leave a link to that review on the blog tour in the description box below. Then one I was sent from Quirk Books, which comes out on March the 26th in both countries. Quirk is great because I know that their release dates are across both countries, so I can always just go, it's the 26th of March, no matter where it is. And this is non-fiction. This is called Race Me in a Lobster Suit, Absurd Internet Ads and the Real Conversations That Followed. So I'm excited to read this one. I showed it off in a book haul quite recently, and I like the fact that it's it's going to be quite quick to read. I imagine I'll pick it up. I'm sorry, I started reading it then. I imagine I will pick it up and then end up just reading it. So this one is looking for someone to help me make a racket. And then the response is, hi, my name is Nick and I am interested in helping you make some loud noise to screw with your downstairs neighbours. Please let me know what you're offering and when you would like to do this, as I'm available most evenings. Thank you. I'm just excited about reading this one. 26th of March, very excited. I love the lobster on the front as well. It's great. I'm presuming that one of the ads is going to be, I want you to race me in a lobster suit. always exciting. Then there are some more March releases that I'm going to talk about. I want to read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I had an e-review copy of this one. I had it for ages and I should have read it already and I haven't. I also have an audio review copy that I couldn't get to work, but I've sorted it now, so I'm probably going to listen on audiobook. And then I have a book haul coming up where I'll show you that I have a finished copy of the hardback as well. Let's not talk about how many copies of this book I have that I haven't read yet, because by the time you see this video, you never know. I may have read it. You never know. You never know. This one came out on March the 5th in the US and March 7th in the UK. I'm very excited to read it. Then we have The Mermaid's Voice Returns in this one by Amanda Lovelace, which I really honestly will have read by the time this comes up, because this one came out on Tuesday the 5th in the US. So by the time you watch this, I will have had it in my hands, which means I will have read it with my little flags. And I may talk about it on here as well. You can look forward to that. Then we have Field Notes on Love, which also came out on March the 5th. I have an audio review copy of this one. This one is a young adult romance, contemporary romance by Jennifer E. Smith, who is the author of Windfall, which I just loved and adored, The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight, and then a couple that I didn't love. So we're going to see whether this one is going to be a hit or a miss with me. You never know. Then on the 7th of March in the UK, we have the new Millie Johnson novel. So excited. I am getting this one on audiobook, so I'm looking forward to reading it when it comes out. I'm going to be so busy this first week of March. By the time this video goes up, you can just imagine me in like a frazzled mess on my sofa, surrounded by various different forms of books. But, you know, now I've put that picture in your head. You're welcome. The Magnificent Mrs. Mayhew is Millie Johnson's new book. I got a first chapter of this one for review, so I have had a little taster of it, and it's Millie Johnson. It's going to be wonderful. Then the paperback of that Mum Who Got Her Life Back that I mentioned is out on the 7th of March in the UK as well. The ebook came out on the 1st of March. Then on the 12th of March in the US, one book that I'm very excited for, and I'm so pleased that I have an audio review copy from the lovely folk at Penguin Random House, because I would always have done this on audiobook anyway, is Too Much Is Not Enough by Andrew Rannells. So this is Andrew Rannells' memoir, and Andrew Rannells' voice is in my head every time I come into land when I'm on an aeroplane, because I like to listen to the Book of Mormon soundtrack as we're landing because it stops me feeling travel sick. Another fun fact that you are so welcome for. And then another memoir that I also have on audio review from Penguin Random House. And again, I would love to have done this one on audio anyway. I would have probably pre-ordered both of these guys on audiobook. And that is Shout, which is a poetic memoir by Laurie Halse Anderson. Because this is a poetic memoir, it's written in verse, this is going to be quite a short listen. I think it's only just over 5 hours. So here's hoping by putting a short book on my TBR that I will definitely get to it. And both of those memoirs are out on the 12th of March in the US. Then we have Wildflower Park Part 3 by Bella Osborne, which I have already reviewed on my blog. So if I remember, I will leave a link to it in the description box below. My blog is always linked down there anyway. So if you're ever looking for reviews that I have written rather than reviews that I've shared on here, you can go to my blog. It's always in that box, along with my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and email and everything down there. So Wildflower Park Part 3 comes out on the 18th of March in the UK, and I'm very excited as well for Wildflower Park Part 4. Gosh, that's hard to say, which comes out in April in the UK, the final part. I have a little bit of a tradition that I've read all 3 of these on aeroplanes, so I think I will probably wait and read Bella Osborne's Part 4 on my aeroplane between here and London at the end of the month. So yes, reading Part 4 at the end of the month. Have already read Part 3. And then on the very at the very end of March, on the 29th of March, we have The Summer of Chasing Dreams by Holly Martin. I have an ebook copy of this one because I'm going to be on the blog tour for it on the 1st of April on my blog. And so I need to read this by then. And this one comes out on the 29th of March in the UK. Then a couple of other books I want to get to, aside from those February releases that I didn't get to. You're like, Catriona, you only read 4 books last month. Why are you doing this? I know. Well, I mean, I don't actually know. But by the time you've seen this video, I will have read some books. It's fine. I would like to read 5 Feet Apart before the film comes out so that I can make you all a lovely book versus movie video. I'm probably going to end up buying the audiobook for this one from Audible using one of my credits, just because I've been on the wait list for my library for a little while and it's not coming, so I guess we're gonna have to go to Audible. And then I have a couple of, oh my goodness, why are there so many books still left? So there's a few April releases that I might read. So one of the April releases that I might read comes out on the 2nd of April, and again, this is a Quirk Books release, and so it'll be across both countries. But this one is The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. I'm also doing this one as a buddy read with Bethany once we finish reading Four Dead Queens. So right now, as I'm filming this video, I am listening to the first book in this companion series by Ashley Poston, which is Geekerella, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm getting more excited about reading The Princess and the Fangirl. So Geekerella came out a couple of years ago, and I'm currently listening to it on audiobook, and so I will be reading this one very soon with Bethany. And this one, because it comes out on the 2nd of April, I'm traveling then anyway, so it would be good to have read it before, so that my review is all ready to share with you on my blog or on here, who knows. So Geekerella and The Princess and the Fangirl are other ones I want to get to. And then we have another couple of early April releases. These all come out on the 4th of April in the UK, and I have these on my Kindle ready to read. I have spoken about one of these already because originally I believe it was a March release, but then they've pushed it to April. I don't know if they were doing the ebook in March and the hardback in April, or why they've kind of changed it. But as I say, this one comes out on the 4th of April, and that is Sleep by C.L. Taylor. You know I love C.L. Taylor. She's just out of shot up here. I have her, I think they're in this stack actually. I have all of her novels, most of them signed except this one here, which is The Escape. I just love her books, and I'm very excited to read Sleep. I know I will read it in one sitting because that is what I will make time to do, because it's C.L. Taylor. And then we have The Rosy Result by Graham Simpson. This also comes out on the 4th of April in the UK, and is the 3rd book in the Rosie Project. I don't know if you call it a series or a set of... It's a series, basically. Yeah, The Rosie Project was awesome. The Rosie Effect was good, so I'm excited for The Rosy Result, and I like the alliteration in the title as well. I'm really hoping, I was lucky enough that Graham Simpson came to Denver to a book event. I'm really hoping I can either catch him in the UK for a book event, or that he will come back to Denver for a book event, because he was just wonderful to listen to and I really loved meeting him. And then finally, another one that I'm on a blog tour for, but I am on the blog tour for this beginning of April, so I will either read this in March or I will read it at that beginning of April as I fly back here from the UK, and that is A View to a Kilt by Wendy Holden. It has been a while since I read a Wendy Holden novel. I used to read lots of her novels and then I just stopped for some reason, and I recently read The Mum Who Got Her Life Back, which is set in Glasgow, and it made me want to read more books set in Scotland as well. So when I was approached about this blog tour, I said, yes please, I will read and review that, most certainly. So there we have it. As I say, I will definitely be needing Lots of coffee in this Not Tonight and Booked cup. And of course lots of water too, because it's important to stay hydrated. But I've really set myself up there for reading lots of books this month. But because I've got some buddy reads, and because I've got some shorter books, and because I've got a mixture of audiobook, physical book, ebook, I'm really hoping that it's going to be a good reading month. Please let me know in the comments below, A, if you've read any of these, and B, what you are most looking forward to reading in March, because I'm just excited about everything. That's why they're on my list. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Discount code for this is in the description box below. Make sure you are subscribed so that my next video lands in your subscription feed. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will be back with another video very soon. So I will see you then. Bye.